Welcome to Journal Through the Bible. We were diving into the book of Joel today.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's a good one.
it is a really good one.
Yeah.
It's short, but
Yeah, it's a short one, but it's powerful.
it's powerful, yeah.
It's got those images, that stick with you.
Absolutely. Vivid imagery. And what's interesting is that a lot of the lessons in Joel are still relevant, even for us today, thousands of years later.
Totally.
So if you're enjoying this deep dive, and we hope you are, think about joining our WhatsApp group,
Yeah, come join us.
Journal Through the Bible.
That's right.
We're reading through 3 chapters a day.
3 chapters a day.
Imagine the insights that we can uncover together.
It's amazing the conversations that come up.
Yeah.
Really thought-provoking.
It's great.
Yeah.
Well, Joel, he doesn't waste any time.
He gets right to
He
it,
jumps right in.
right into the thick of it.
He throws us right into this world of crisis in Judah. And it kicks off with this devastating locust plague.
Oh, yeah. Locusts everywhere.
It's interesting because
It's like something out of a horror movie, right?
yes,
Swarms so thick they block out the sun,
can't even see the sun.
devouring everything.
Everything, crops, trees,
Yes.
everything's gone.
Wiped clean. It's bleak, man.
Yeah, and he doesn't just stop at describing it though, right? He urges parents to tell their children about this.
Yes. He's like, tell your kids, tell your grandkids, this is serious.
It's a never forget moment.
Absolutely. He wants this memory ingrained in their minds.
There's a warning too, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like, don't let this happen again.
Exactly. Learn from this.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating to me?
What's that?
It's how Joel connects this physical devastation to the spiritual state of Judah.
So there's a deeper meaning here.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not just bad luck or, just a natural disaster.
Right. It's like the ravaged land is a mirror reflecting what's going on in their hearts. They're turning away from God.
It's a consequence.
Yes, exactly.
So he's saying there's a reason behind all of this suffering.
Precisely. It makes you think, doesn't it?
It does.
Like our struggles today,
Mhm.
whether they're personal or, things we're all facing together, are they sometimes a reflection of our own turning away from what really matters?
It's interesting you say that because Joel, he doesn't leave us in despair, does he?
No, not at all.
He also talks about, God's mercy, this path to healing,
Absolutely. There's always that path, that way back,
restoration.
even as he's laying bare the consequences, right?
Yeah.
He reminds us that God's capacity for forgiveness,
Oh, it's limitless.
it's boundless, it's always there. He's always ready to welcome us back,
If we're willing to,
to take that step,
take that step, yeah.
to turn back.
It's like he's saying, you are not forgotten.
Yeah, you're never too far gone.
Yeah. And that brings us, I guess, to the next part of, the trials that Joel talks about.
Because it doesn't end with the locusts.
It doesn't end with the locusts, does it?
No.
He goes on to describe another threat.
It's a new kind of threat.
And this was even, it seems even more terrifying.
Well, this is the big one, right?
Yeah.
The day of the Lord.
Yeah, and he uses some pretty intense imagery to describe it.
Oh, yeah. Fire, earthquakes.
The sun and moon going dark,
It's like the whole world is unraveling.
almost apocalyptic.
It is apocalyptic, but it's important to remember with this kind of biblical prophecy, the day of the Lord, it's not always talking about the very end of the world.
Right.
It can also refer to these specific points in history,
Okay.
when God's judgment falls on those who have really turned away from him.
Like a reckoning.
It's a reckoning, exactly. It's like those moments when the consequences of our actions,
They catch up.
they catch up to us on a massive scale.
So this impending army, this day of the Lord, it's another wake-up call. It's another chance to turn back.
It's like the alarm bells are ringing and Joel's saying, "Hey, wake up, wake up. There's still time.
There's still time.
There's still time."
There's still time to change course.
It's almost like he's saying, like, look, I know things might look really bleak right now, but it's not too late.
Yeah. Like, there's still time. You can still turn this
It's
around.
gonna still turn back to me.
Choose a different path.
Yeah, and it's not just about escaping judgment.
No, it's so much bigger than that.
It leads to something even more, incredible, right? This future that's so hopeful.
Talk about a plot twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like going from black and white to full color.
Restoration.
He's talking about this future overflowing with hope and restoration. Just amazing.
And that's when we get those images, right?
Yeah.
Like The mountains
The imagery, yeah.
dripping with wine.
Rivers of wine.
Hey, the hills flowing with milk.
Fields bursting with grain. It's like abundance everywhere you look.
It's a complete reversal of, all that devastation we talked about earlier.
It's like hitting the reset button on creation. But then it gets even more amazing.
More amazing. How can it get more amazing than rivers of wine?
Well, he goes on, he starts describing God's Spirit being poured out on all people.
Right. He says, it shall come to pass afterward
Yeah.
that I will pour out my Spirit on all flesh.
He's talking about everyone.
Everyone, your sons, daughters,
Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are.
young, old, doesn't matter.
It's just this beautiful picture of God's grace, this transformative power reaching everyone.
It's like this all-access pass to experiencing God's presence.
And it's connected to Pentecost too, right?
Direct connection. That moment when the Holy Spirit came down on the disciples,
Giving them that power.
empowering them to spread the gospel, to share the good news.
Even in the midst of all this judgment.
That's the thing, right? Even when things seem their bleakest, God's working behind the scenes,
He's always working.
always moving towards that plan of redemption.
And that's where we get that incredible promise.
Whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
It's a universal invitation.
Anyone who chooses to accept it.
It's hopeful, isn't it?
It's incredibly hopeful. Joel's reminding us that, yes, there's judgment, actions have consequences.
But there's always hope.
Always. This incredible hope and a promise of restoration.
A future filled with God's presence.
And it's as simple as turning back to Him, calling on His name.
So as you're journaling through Joel this week,
I love that, journaling through Joel.
think about this. Where do you see, echoes of his message, either in your own life
Yeah, where does this resonate with you?
or just in the world around you?
It's all connected.
And what does it actually mean for you to call upon the name of the Lord? Not just, when things are rough,
Not just in a crisis,
but every day.
every single day.
We'd love to hear your thoughts, so come join us in our Journal Through the Bible WhatsApp group.
The conversation's just getting started.